All right, hello and welcome to News Update on VOP TV. I'm Moses Humphrey. The Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja yesterday admitted as exhibits of the Chicago State University academic records of President Bola Tinubu, as well as a number of other documents. Now, Tinubu tendered the documents before the tribunal through his legal team, led by Wole Olanipekun SAN, in compliance with the tribunal's Monday directive. The president yesterday opened his defense in response to the petitions by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar, challenging his victory in the February 25 presidential election. At the Tuesday proceedings, Olanipekun also tendered Tinubu's U.S. visa, Chicago State University academic documents tendered by, Tinubu's Chicago State University documents tendered by Olanipekun included a letter of admission offered to Tinubu by the institution. Also tendered were documents of Nigeria Immigration Service, which Olanipekun said cleared Tinubu for U.S. trips, indicating that he visited the U.S. unhindered between 2011 and 2021. Also admitted as exhibits by the court was a U.S. Embassy letter dated April 4, 2003 to the Nigeria police, stating that the U.S. Embassy had no criminal records of Tinubu in the U.S. Apart from the educational documents, Tinubu also tendered newspaper publications on a number of lawsuits filed against him by different groups. The Federal High Court in Awka, Anambra State, has blocked a move by the federal government aimed at helping the local government areas in Anambra State, Nigeria, to recover over 16 billion naira diverted by state government. The money represents the local government's share of the Paris Club refund, which the Anambra State government of Nigeria received on their behalf from the federal government, but has refused to hand it over to them. The judge, Nnamdi Dingba, declared in a judgment handed down on the 21st of June that the recovery approach adopted by the federal government through the Minister of Finance was unconstitutional. According to Mr. Dingba, the federal government overstepped its legal authorities with its decision to deduct the money from the allocation of the state and paid it directly to the joint account of the local government areas. The court agreed that the state government's failure to pay local government's share of the money into the state joint local government account is clearly a constitutional breach. The Senate has constituted an ad hoc committee to investigate the back-to-back failure of every attempt of government to complete the East-West Road since 2006. Senate resolution followed the adoption of a motion on the urgent need for construction of Eleme community's axis of the East-West Road at plenary yesterday. Well, this motion was sponsored by Mpigi Barinada of the PDP Rivers State. Mr. Barinada, earlier in his lead debate, said the decision of the government to seek the alternative sources for funding critical national projects increased the stock of infrastructure. Now, this, he said, was to grow the nation through initiatives such as private sector partnership, Sukuk funds, and the NNPCL Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme. Mr. Barinada said despite spending huge funds on the project, such a critical national project, if abandoned, would bring untold hardship and neglect and exacerbate the suffering and pain of the people. The ad hoc committee has Abdul Ningi PDP Bauchi as chairman, while Osita Ugu, Sharafuddin Ali, Adams Oshomole, Abubakar Sadiq, and Mpigi Barinada, among others, were listed as members. The federal government said it's making efforts to ensure that healthcare workers who have left the country to seek greener pastures return to contribute to the development of the health sector. The special advisor to the President on Health, Dr. Salman Anas Ibrahim, made this known yesterday at the joint World Health Organization Stakeholders Feedback Workshop on the evaluation of the third WHO Nigeria Country Cooperation Strategy between 2018 to 2022 and development of the fourth WHO Nigeria Cooperation Strategy between 2023 to 2027. Dr. Anas Ibrahim said the attainment of health for all programs through an efficient and effective universal health coverage system using the continuum of care model where no one is left behind as contained in the Sustainable Development Goals. This is the main aim of the present administration, led by President Bola Tinubu. And according to her, President Tinubu's health sector agenda would align with the existing National Health Plan to improve the health fortunes of Nigerians through investment in governance and leadership, health financing, human resources, equitable, safe, quality service delivery, primary health care, secondary and tertiary care facilities, preventive care services, public health emergency preparedness and response, and increased partnership with non-governmental organizations. The Delta State House of Assembly yesterday approved the request of Governor Sheriff Obi'S to appoint 20 special advisors to assist him in driving the administration of the state. The approval of the governor's request followed a motion moved by the majority leader of the Assembly, Mr. Emeka Mobi, during the Assembly's plenary presided over by the Speaker, Mr. Dennis Guo. The governor had in a letter requested the Assembly's approval for the appointment of the special advisors, quoting the nation's constitution to back the request. Also, the Assembly on Tuesday screened and confirmed the nominees for appointment to the Delta State Advisory Council on the prerogative of mercy, as forwarded to it last week by the governor. The motions for the screening and confirmation were moved by the majority leader and seconded by the lawmaker representing Aniocha South constituency, Isaac Anwuzia. Obi'S said the appointment followed the need for reconstitution of the Advisory Council as a result of the expiration of the tenure of its members. In business news, the Bank of America has said the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria may need to increase interest rates by at least 700 basis points before the end of the year to curb inflation. In an interview with Bloomberg yesterday, the bank's sub-Saharan Africa economist Tatonga Rusiki said the hike was necessary to tackle soaring inflation occasioned by the fuel subsidy removal and unification of foreign exchange. Rusiki explained that at the current trend, inflation may quicken to 30% by the end of this year from 22.4% in May, noting that the nation's apex bank may need to push up the rates. He further warned that if this decision was not taken, foreign investors might exercise caution before investing in the country. Well, VOP TV Business Desk reports that the CBN, in record-breaking moves, have increased the country's interest rates since last year. The raise has, however, not slowed Nigeria's soaring inflation, which hit 22.41% in May 2023, compared with 22.22% in April 2023. In foreign news, China's Defense Ministry has accused the United States of turning Taiwan into a powder keg with its latest sales of military equipment to the self-governing island democracy worth a total of $440.2 million. The U.S. State Department approved the sale of 30mm ammunition and related equipment, along with spare parts for Taiwan's vehicles, small arms, combat weapon system, and logistical support items. The U.S. maintains a one-China policy under which it does not recognize Taiwan's formal independence and has no formal diplomatic relations with the island, in deference to Beijing. Well, nonetheless, U.S. law requires a credible defense for Taiwan and for the U.S. to treat all threats to the island as matters of grave concern. China regularly sends warships and planes across the center line in the Taiwan Strait that provides a buffer between the sides, as well as into Taiwan's air defense identification zone in an effort to intimidate the island's 23 million people and wear down its military capabilities. And that's the news update on VOP TV. I would like you to subscribe and engage with us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV, and on other social media channels, it is VOP TV Live. Well, that's the news update. I'm Moses Humphrey.